All right, hey everybody, because I don't like to edit much, this is going to be just kind of train of thought here. First thing I'm going to access, I'm actually going to open a bash RC file just so like I can explain some of the things that you'll probably see me doing, but at first I have to change to the right one. So one thing that I've been really into lately, if I can open the right one. Why is it not working? Oh, I think I know why. One thing I've been trying to do a lot more of lately. Oh gosh, it won't let me get there. Oh, I'm doing $sign. I've been working in another terminal. So if I do code.bash rc, so this is a file that you can use to build in aliases. And so this was going to be like a short like coding tips thing, but what I like to do is that you can build in at your base level here. So at your tilde level, where all your user related documents are in your home, you can build in these shortcuts. And what these shortcuts do is allow you to run more complicated bash scripts at any time. And I don't know, I got kind of down a rabbit hole with them for a few hours this past weekend. And what some of these various ones will do is one allows me to set my terminal to be very short.
Hello?
If I'm working in a deeper one. Hey, Walter, I'm just going to mute you just to start off, but welcome to the meetup hangout. How you doing? I can unmute you to or ask him.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Nice. Are you part of the Flatiron school?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, welcome. I think there's a few of us here and a few from outside of the cohort. I was gonna do my screen share pretty much 100% of the time, but I don't have to. It's just how I've been running them since I started the group and there wasn't many people attending, and so it was just some way to get things moving forward. But currently our plan is to work through a challenge lab throughout the whole of this, but yeah, feel free to speak up and comment throughout if you have anything to say. Okay, so moving forward, so what I'm doing here is like this is a way to like restart bash because I mess it up all the time with these bash commands that I've built in, but with these aliases I can initially like use code dot just with the letter C. I can shorten my terminal with just the letter 1. I can clone with just git cl, and then I have more complicated ones down here where you can like script through everything. And so I actually have one for like flat git, and which passes in an argument of like the URL for the SSH. But anyways, I just thought this was kind of a fun thing that I had explored this past weekend, and it might explain some of the commands that look a little bit goofy. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. And I'm going to probably kick that.
Oh, this catches me off guard.
Touche.
This is gonna get interesting.
Yeah, I know. You gotta kick him out.
Yeah, no, I'm
trying to study. I'm trying to get this shit done.
I'm trying to pass my code challenge.
Was that your first troll, Ben?
That is my first troll. I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is like a Call of Duty chat, honestly.
All right. That is a classic right there. So what I usually start with on any of these challenges, I have a sapling thing that generates a tree. So this is just an extension that helps out with visualizing some of like the React parent-child relationships. And so that's called sapling.
And you can download that straight from the extensions, correct?
What was that?
You can download that straight from the extensions tab.
Yes. Yeah, so like if you go to the extensions tab and then just look
Yeah.
up sapling, it's a pretty good one. I think I thought it was Lewis, but it might have been somebody else. It might have been Kevin. I feel like Kevin like had a bunch of can't remember his last.
Kevin Duncy?
Yeah, Kevin
Duncy.
Diesenberg, I think. Somebody had it.
Isenberg is the one in our cohort. Then there's Dunsey, who's in the other one.
I gotcha.
I'm always messing with extensions too, especially like the file structure stuff, but I haven't seen sapling yet.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
sapling
nice
is
to see stuff in a better format.
right. Yeah, so I'd recommend sapling. So what's nice about it is you can use these little arrows and they'll just launch your code pretty quickly to like what actually is building that component out. And so it just kind of it's helped me to like kind of speed up some of my work. But I usually forget to use it, to be honest. So I've been trying to force myself to use it a little more. So what I'll usually do is split my preview over to one side. And then what I'll do is get this running. Then I always run in split terminals. It's just, I guess, what I've done.
All right, so it's about information about Pokémon will be by JSON file, will be using JSON. Premium in the status for the previous system. Project that was created.
So usually where I'll go to pretty early also is just to see if just because they've started saying these things that like, oh, NPM sometimes is tucked away within like extra pieces. And so I've been trying to check all of like the challenge ones and go to my package.json first, and then potentially to my index.css also, because these kind of like give me some like cookie crumbs like that, like, hey, these are the pieces that I'm going to be building out, and these are the pieces that I'm really going to be working with next. And then I also like to look at the package.json file for similar things, because if there's anything in the scripts section that kind of tells me like there potentially is something that I can just use, especially if there's like a JSON server comment. And so for that, I can use npm start server. Oh yeah. So no. And this might be like getting a little ahead of it, but I was just running through kind of a few of the things that I normally touch on before I jump into things. So let me get back into my preview. Oh, and another one is I'm just going to kind of feel free to tell me I'm being annoying, but I'm just going to kind of narrate like what I've been doing. That's just how I've done some of the past ones. But sometimes I'll close my Explorer to get some more room when I'm just focusing on one thing. And then I'll just look at that one.
So hello from Pokémon collection.
Okay.
Ben, how do you use sampling? I have it done, but how do you add
Oh,
stuff?
yeah. So to do sapling, find your root app, and what you do is you right click on it, and then down at the bottom there'll be a thing called a generate tree, and then that should refresh your tree, and then it's just going to be like an extension in your left hand, like you click through Explorer, and to search and things like that.
Yeah, mine says app.js. So, oh, yeah, exactly what you're saying now. So Pokemon page. There you go. Oh, this.
Oh, this is actually helpful.
Nice.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, so you can, what's really nice is if you hover over the eye, it will tell you like what props are available. And then if you hover over like the arrow, it will actually, well, not hover, sorry, click the arrow, then it'll take you right into like where the code is. So I'm all about making life easier. And since they said tab 9 and like all extensions are fair game, like I don't know, you saw my aliases file earlier, it's getting out of control. But yeah, I mean, use the tools that you're given, right?
Yeah, man, honestly.
All right, so, okay, I need to get back to preview. Another thing I like to do, and I don't know if anybody else uses Microsoft products here, but OneNote is really helpful. And then you can do like always on top. And so then it will kind of stick to the top, even when you're like messing around with other things, which for me is really useful if I'm taking a lot of notes, or I'll put it on like a secondary monitor.
I think which lab we can reference for the Pokemon card component, if anything, the Hogs lab that we did, because it has something similar to do with this, with displaying all of these cards on the web browser.
Sorry, what'd you say again?
I see that that Hogs lab, the Hogs project that we did last week.
Yeah.
I think that one is going to be good reference just based off of the preview. Because remember for the Hogs, how Gary had displayed all the cards and gave it like CSS styling, but through the actual component.
You talk about for Hog Wild.
Yeah.
I guess like you're saying that Garrick had mentioned that this was going to be pretty much what they're.
No. I'm talking about for what we're doing right now, the Pokemon that we're doing right now.
You're saying the Pokemon one's not.
So I'm saying that the Pokemon one, correct, is similar in terms of how.
Oh, I gotcha. I thought you were saying that we shouldn't work on the Pokemon one. I was like, I'm up for another one. Like, yeah, especially this early when we haven't started it.
Nah, but you're the boss. Are you serious?
Not yet. But then if they have to pay me to make me the boss, yeah. Both get data and post data to the JSON server database.
So the first step is to
Okay.
Let's see how we're gonna tackle this right here. So app.js. Do some new states right away. Great.
Okay. So the first thing they want us to do is to get the cards.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fetch request to populate our state. We'll use effects just to execute it
Gotcha.
when we first launch the page.
my instructor teaches a way of like hard coding it by listing each one, but that's just like more time consuming.
What sorry, can you repeat that again?
My instructor, he did a way of like hard coding it, it's like listing each array, but I know that's more time consuming. But that's just
Oh,
one way of doing it.
I gotcha. So you're like saying like reversing the array here?
Yeah.
I
Like
gotcha.
copy and pasting all and then putting it there to like kind of like see like if it works.
Oh, yeah. You're saying like bringing this directly over into wherever like Pokemon card is and seeing like if it syncs up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's in JSON format though, so you'd have to convert it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So you'd want to DJSonify it, yeah. I wonder if I could do like an alt click on all of these. And then like shift quote. No, just add some more. Wonder. Span selection. Shift alt right arrow. Shift. Now what if I do it? No, just a quote on a quote. I was
Yeah.
hoping that it would be, there'd be a way to quickly de-quotify it. But I mean, like realistically, it would be something like search. Like replace it with nothing. Oh, I'd have to do regex. Like, and I hate regex. There has to be some way to do it, but I mean, the quickest way is obviously yes, just to delete it. But I don't think I'm worried too much about them having the basic structure of this like correct. So I was just going to start with like a fetch request, just to grab the data in, and then probably do like a console log here. For some reason, I like to do it inside of the return, just to like let me know that I'm showing something as a React app. So here, this is where I'm a little, well, very weak. So like I can't remember exactly what we all need for effects. And so there we
Perfect.
go. Thank you. Look at that. The tab 9, do it for
Tab
me.
9, yep.
Yeah.
All the
might have to
we don't use that API. We're using
Yeah.
the local.
I gotcha. 3001 Pokemon. Right? No.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because we're doing the .res JSON then Pokemon goes to set Pokemon, right? Something like that. So we got an empty array.
Hey, Ben, we may want to push our state down to the next level
Yeah,
because there's nothing in app that uses like
Gotcha.
the only child of app is just the Pokemon page. So we just be drilling it down an extra level for no reason.
gotcha. Let's look at the preview first. So is there anything at the app level eventually?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
because, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think you're right. There's nothing there.
Okay, so I'm gonna move it from the app level down to the level below it, which is Pokemon page. Okay. And then I'm gonna bring this console log out from there. We should just wherever we want to see it, right? So this should be good enough. So if we save this, nothing should happen. Oh, those are the easy ones. Use state. Use effect.
You're doing it on the Pokemon page, right? All right, cool.
Oh, control F5. I don't know if anybody else has that problem with their browsers sometimes where they have to do a force reset. But every now and then, if I'm like creating a new one, or if there's some like library that was needing to get imported, sometimes mine will like need to have a control F5 or else it will go to one of those red screens. And it's driven me crazy before because I'll forget about it. And then like, I'm just doing all these other changes to the code. And it's really just a problem with, I'd say it's really just a problem with the, why is this so big? Do I need to deconstruct this? Do I? Destructure? No. No. I'll destructure the object array when we pass. Yeah, okay. Anyways, sorry, what got me distracted was I thought that I was doing a wrapper of an array around this object here. And I don't want that. And so I want to say that I should just set this to like null to start with. Yeah, it's still an array. Okay. I don't really care about the initial state of it since it's just already getting set. Okay, so now if we move to the preview again. Okay, I need to have this preview up on another page. There's just too much going on. And if anybody is not working through Flatiron, you can also just get this out on the GitHub. Actually, that's probably the one I'm going to use. This reads it a little cleaner.
One-handed with the on. First, doesn't know that thing. Is your code breaking? Mine broken already. That's crazy.
Pokemon card. Okay. I don't care about this app. Care about your preview. New package. So Pokemon page, we definitely need to pass down the Pokemon as a prop. This is a Pokemon collection. Go to the definition of this. Return card. So I need to pull out my Pokemon here. Okay. Chasing my console logs around. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog going crazy, but he is definitely going crazy. Okay. Okay, so we're getting the same thing. Why are we getting this? Oh, no. Use effect. Interesting. I don't. Console log, Pokemon collection. Oh, it's running this before React can get a chance to play with it. Okay. So I need to move this into the React statement, I believe. And that has to be surrounded or else it's going to be fragmented. Okay. So now we should be seeing one array. It still runs it first. Huh. Well, who cares? Oh, I know why.
I think it's the initial state.
Right,
the
because the dot then
function.
isn't running yet, right? It's so
Well,
we could
the initial state will always run first, no matter what, right?
right, and so it's building it all, and because of these dot thens, that's meaning that we won't see we see this use state empty array first, and then we see it getting set by this, but there's not really a way to tell like the page to wait. Like, I guess I could say like loading. And like potentially, I think that would loading. Yeah, there we go. So loading the array.
I don't know, I don't really like changing the type within the
Right.
same state. So maybe within like the Pokemon collection component, we can like check if there's a length to the array. Then if there's no length, then we can add like a loading spinner or something like that, or handle it that
I
way.
gotcha. Maybe at a later time. Yeah. Okay. So we know that we're getting Pokemon down here. So with this, we can use our Pokemon collection. I think we should be able to do like a map. Map sounds right. Pokemon dot map. Yeah. So const card group. So this is where I always get screwed up. If I need to like build here at this level, my cards.
There's a oh, sorry, never mind.
Is there a card already?
Well, there's a Pokemon card component already built. It just doesn't receive any data, so you have to set it up to customize. It's just like a generic one. All the
Gotcha.
styling is done, but
Gotcha. So I'll pass into that. So const Pokemon cards equals Pokemon map. Pokemon goes to. It's gonna be tab 9. You silly. Okay, that is what I want to do though. Like, is like I want to return a collection of Pokemon cards, but I don't want to cheat too much. Okay, so for my Pokemon cards, if I look over here. I'm going to use this to kind of guide it. ID, name, HP, sprites. Oh, how do we do it? Nested.
So
Then the first one, should it be Pokemon ID, not name?
Oh, yeah. Legit. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Pokemon.hp. Pokemon.sprites. Pokemon. Oh.
hey,
I can just
hey
leave that.
Ben,
I can just leave that stacked, can't I?
Ben,
Yeah, yes, sir.
might be a little easier to just pass the entire Pokemon object to Pokemon card
Oh,
and
that's
then just
just
destructure
silly.
each
Yeah, I hear
and
you
then
now. I get
and
it.
then just destructure each of the each of the keys inside the Pokemon card component.
So I would still need, you still have to do the key, right? Like at.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a tab 9. That was a tab 9 catch, not me. So.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just want to make sure, anytime I get a tab 9 one, I'm like, oh, I wish I was that good.
yeah, I need tab 9 in my life because Lord only knows.
Yeah. No, I decided to put money against it. It's expensive. I do not recommend it unless you really enjoy like the free version.
The sucky part about the free version is I think it has like a character limit. So it only like autocomplete up to like X amount of characters. So sometimes it just autocompletes to like the middle of a word.
Yeah.
It saves a little bit of time, but it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I can see that.
Where do I get this tab 9 at?
You have to download it on your extensions.
Yeah, so so
What's it
tab
called?
9 is there's 2 good ones out there that I know of. There's Git Copilot and then tab 9, which I don't even. Oh, that's all one word. Oh, now it's that's not true.
Tap 9. You wrote tap 9.
What's tab?
Oh, nice. I'm not good on camera, okay?
Hey,
Hey Ben, what was the sapling that you had earlier? Is that to like have the hierarchy so that it's like easier for you to work with?
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
like with the hierarchy here,
Mhm,
what's nice about sapling is that it just gives you a way to bounce really quickly,
mhm. Oh,
which I
that's so smart.
found, yeah, right. So I found this go-to definition, which is pretty
Mhm,
good, but it only lets you drill down.
mhm.
And then go-to definition, by the way, is like the freaking cheat code for programming. Because like if you go into like any of these, where am I calling like some of the other ones? Oh, how is this working? Oh, I do call it up here. Use state. So if you go to like go to definition for use state, this will tell you how like use state was actually defined in like the core React libraries. And so like I don't know, like this helps me to like at least somewhat understand like what it's trying to do and how it's recalling the function and setting on initial state, but it's also kind of just gibberish, but it's neat to know that it's there.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna
Yeah, no
download
worries.
sapling and go to definition.
Sapling and go to definition.
shit, tab 9, boy, that's gonna save my life.
Tab 9 definitely speeds things up a little bit. So right now we're in the Pokemon card. And so what I probably would do now is I would just go here and like log that we're getting the Pokemon down at this level. I hate that Pokemon is the plural and the singular, by the way. This is driving me mad. In my brain.
You could just write Pokemons to be funny.
The Pokemon. So I'm gonna save this one, save this one, and save this one, and then do like a control F5. I'm not passing it down as a prop. There we go. Interesting. Oh, am I not mapping yet? I'm not calling this anywhere. On Pokemon. Pokemon map. Pokemon. Pokemon, no. Pokemon.
Yo, this is insane. This is like typing on steroids. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Yo, this is crazy. Oh shit.
No, yeah, that thing has been very, very helpful. What am I doing wrong here?
I think the pokey list function needs to be called inside of the return statement somewhere in the.
Oh, for the
Done.
React to actually run it, like, so.
Yeah.
So this return, okay. So
And
like
then,
this level of returns here. So I thought this would have mapped this out.
Yeah, Pokemon list should be an array of components. So you just got to put the array itself into the
So
return
if I just
statement.
run it.
You wouldn't run it. It's an array already. So you just throw it inside some curly braces, just the array identifier itself. And
Right.
it should go ahead and display it.
For some reason I was getting tossed because down at the Pokemon card level, I have it console logging. Oh, but that's never going to be visible because that element does not exist on the page. So those console logs are linked to them being visible. Yeah, okay. So now if I save this, oh no. Yeah. Well, that's still something. Okay. So there's all 150 Pokemon. Oh, we're just doing original. Why am I missing? Why am I missing one? I want
I think
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is like one of the other deliverables where you need to like add the missing Pokemon or something.
Oh,
But I'm not super sure though.
gotcha. Okay, so that's like a post test later. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
gotcha. I know my original 9.
Same with me. I love the
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah. I only ever beat red. I never beat like any of the other ones. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do now is this side. So should we just structure here? No. We should just structure here. Image source equals Pokemon dot sprites, I think. Dot front. Seems right. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Haha, cool. Class name, Pokemon name here. We can kill that one. So that's gonna be this just Pokemon dot name. I'm just gonna do that one. Ooh, I want that capitalized. How do I do that? Dot to no. Just some piece for that. Pokemon HP here. Pokemon. Why aren't you staying on top? If it ever sounds like I'm going crazy, it's because I don't know what else to do when like there's this many people in a room. Pokemon HP. HP.
See you, Ben. I have to go stand down. I'll come back in a bit.
Oh yeah, no, legit. See you around. My gosh, I forget that we have West Coast guys. Pokemon name. Oh, let me shut the door. Pokemon HP. I think that's it. I don't see a back. Well, I can call this top level div by something. Let's give it a name. Equals Pokemon dot name and an ID. Oh, so card already is gonna have an ID, right? Yeah, so we don't need these. This card will have it at the top level for us. Okay. So I think that's all we need there. Render each Pokemon name, sprite, and HP in a card. When click, the card should toggle between displaying the front and the back sprites. Okay. So on click, toggle between front and back sprites. In my mind, I usually start at the lowest level when I'm first like trying to think of how something's going to work. So in my mind, we're going to be doing something with on click here. So let's console log. I don't know. ID clicked. Okay, console log ID clicked.
Gotta set it up as a function.
Ah, gotcha. ID is not. Oh. ID is not defined. Oh, I feel like sometimes my like development server 2 clicked, 3 clicked, 10 clicked, 16 clicked. Nice. Okay, so this is going to be a state function. Here. So const show front. Set, show front, right? I don't like that. Show front, set show front. Yeah, that should be fun.
What I did, Ben,
Yeah,
is since the sides are just inside the object, the different sides are just keys. I set the state to just be a string that's the same as like the front key, and then it toggles between front and back, and then that way you don't have to you don't even have to write a ternary. You could just like where you say Pokemon.sprites.front, you could just put in the brackets Pokemon.sprites and then whatever your state is for the front or back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like right here,
Right.
you would put in another. Would you need to have it curly like
You wouldn't
that?
need to do that. It would just be like you'd have your state be a string that's correspondent to the name of the key for the front or the back. So it would just like your state would either just be a string that's front or back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you
Yeah.
state front here.
And then you could just say like side or, you know, like show side or something
show
for your name. It's a little nicer.
side, set show. Set show side. I gotcha. So now here in the inside this source though, like to me, I can't just reference show.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, you can.
You could, and since it's going to be a key, you would just reference it in bracket notation rather
Oh,
than
bracket notation.
dot notation.
I always forget about those two things. Interesting. Okay. Why is this dot?
With bracket notation, you just don't have the dot at all.
Oh, because it's referencing. Gotcha. Because it knows because of the bracket that it's going to be a child of it. Cool.
Right.
So right here is going to be. Actually, let's see, show. That's what I like about using a true false though. Handle. Handle set show side. So set this equal to that. Bring you down just so it's a little cleaner. Set show side equals front. You state front, show side. Okay. Then you have to go down here.
And then the other half of the ternary expression.
Yes, that whole thing. Thank you. I've been experimenting with like instead of ternaries, like using like Boolean statements and then using and or to control execution flow. And I feel like that's led me to like suck at ternaries recently. But cool. Okay.
And then it needs to be flipped around. So if show side is front, then we want
Yeah.
it to be.
Smart. Thank you. Is Ivysaur, you tease. Sorry, that was really inappropriate. Charmeleon, Charizard, Pidgeotto. Cool. Nice. That was a clever solution, Scott. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Show side, front, back. Okay. I think alt. I feel like this should normally be like the name. Okay, so getting back into the next step. Allow users to search a Pokemon by its name. So Pokemon card is done. So let's update the Pokemon that are being shown. Const shown Pokemon equals Pokemon dot filter. In some way. So Pokemon goes to Pikachu. Screwing this up somewhere, I feel like. No, this should be fine. Because I'm not doing the setter right now. I just want to see if this will work. Okay, so that filters down to Pikachu. Okay, so now I need to pass from my search form the search. That's the search. I'm just gonna call it the search.
Search term.
Oh, is that required from it? Search term is a little easier. Yeah. That's probably a better way to do it. Search and search term, search term. Do we want to put search term down there? I think we have to. No, we don't. Because if we do, all we need to pass is the set down. No, the handler, constant handle set search term equals E set search term to E target value. That feels right. So on every event at the lower level, okay. On, I feel like they like to do this, where they do on set search term, handle set search term. Okay, so now if we go down to the search. We need to pull that prop down. So on search term at the search level. Geez. Tab 9 sometimes. I feel like that's not what I want to do though. So, so on search, on set search term. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a controlled form on this input. Search icon. Oh, that's that little icon. Oh, eyes for icon. So input, it's gonna be on change equals on set search term. Okay, so that should bring it up. to the top. But we need a value. Oh, this is always where I get a little twisty. So the value is actually going to be handling input. I think we go up here. Oh, no. Oh, I feel like this is one of those that I always screw up. So we're going to be using the Pokemon name to search. And so we need to handle. We need to put the data somewhere. We're going to be.
Ben, are you trying to control the form or are you just trying to set up a submit handler?
Right now I'm doing an on change handler is what I was doing for the input here. And so what I did was I set up on my Pokemon page, I set up a set search term that's going to be looking at the e-target value in order to set the search term. And so then I passed handle set search term down to my search here. But where I always get caught up is when I'm making this value piece, like I have a hard time.
You shouldn't really need it. Unless you're trying to control the form, you shouldn't really need it since you're just passing up. The value is always going to be what you type in there. And since you're only just passing up the value, you shouldn't need to specify it.
So you're saying instead of having it activate on every, so I guess I was thinking they wanted it to activate on every
Well, it still will do that.
It still
will do that because the on change, the value, we always use the value so that we can like control what's inside the search. We can make sure that what's inside the search bar is exactly linked up to what's in the form at all times, which since you're not doing a controlled form here, you don't need to bother with it.
Gotcha. So now if I just put my search term here. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. Pokemon if, oh gosh.
Includes, I think, is what you're looking for.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So instead do like includes.
Yeah.
Don't do control delete. That's it. Okay. Gotcha. Because this is going to be much more broad in how it filters. Okay. So Ivy, gotcha. Pokey, Poly. Oh, oh, they spelled Polyweed. Forgot they didn't. Okay. Neat. I didn't think about that. So like you're saying because we have on change, that allows it, that'll trigger the React use state again.
Yep.
Because every on change, it's feeding that. Okay. Nice. That's a simpler way than I was gonna do it. Because I was like gonna hook up the value and then I was like, oh, I have to pass another prop down, another prop up. But really that onset search term covers pretty much everything. Well, I handle set search term.
Damn, you got everything done already?
A chunk of it. I don't think we have everything yet. Allow users to search a Pokemon. Wire up the form to add a missing Pokemon. Bulbasaur is missing. You can probably intuit the image links to use based on the data you have. Since there aren't any validations, you may have to manually remove additions from the db.json file if you made a mistake on a post request, etc. When a new Pokemon is added, it should show on the page without having to refresh. Two. Pokemon. Let's see. No, this is technically Flatiron phase 2. Stop making new collections. Postman. This is me just being overkill because I want to use Postman. What do I don't even know how to like create new ones in Postman. New, add request. There we go. Get Pokemon. So there we got all our Pokemon. So now what I'm gonna do is copy this. So save that. Get duplicate Pokemon post body raw JSON. Nope. Ivysaur. Interesting. Okay. So this should post another Ivysaur. Cool. Nice. Postman working. So now if I came back here, I should have too many Ivysaurs. I don't. That's probably for a good reason. Oh, maybe it doesn't allow duplicates. Would it put it at the end? Oh, so it did put it in there. ID 1. Interesting. I don't know why it would have appended it, but oh, so it doesn't have a sort feature, so it just throws it on the back end. Okay, whatever. So delete this. Yeah. So control save, refresh. Ivysaur goes to Mewtwo. Okay. So now we need to move back to Pokemon page. And now we're going to do Pokemon form on submit. On submit form. On form equals handle submit Pokemon form. So moving backwards, doing the same things on handle Pokemon form equals Pokemon. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. So I want to use handle submit Pokemon form to interact, but I need a const new Pokemon, but I don't need it at this level. I don't think I need it at this level at all. No, I do, because I need to add it to the Pokemon list. And that's fine. That's 100% fine. So new Pokemon and set new Pokemon are going to go here. And this is going to be an object, I think, to start with. And then handle submit Pokemon form is going to take some kind of Pokemon. And I don't know. I really don't know what it's going to do. Console log. The Pokemon that you see. Okay. So now we can pass this handle submit down to the Pokemon form. So that's getting pulled down. So when we call this, it's not going to do jack. We need to at least have some kind of business going on. Set new Pokemon to Pokemon. Maybe console log. No, there's no more needed. Okay, let's see what that does. So let's handle submit form. We're gonna take that down to Pokemon form. So if we come down here in Pokemon form, we need to do our on submit Pokemon form. Here, we need to check on submit. Already has one thing. Can I just do that? I don't think is that allowed? So. I feel like it's usually a different. How? Well, let's see what happens.
Your on submit is going to need an prevent default.
Yeah. So this on submit console log submitting form.
You need the you need to call that as a function, the on submit Pokemon form.
Okay. What were you? So thank you. And then I feel like I'm missing one piece here, but maybe not. Submitting form. A, B, C, D. Okay, so we're not submitting anything to it yet. So we need to grab all our form inputs. Oof. So to grab those form inputs. Oh gosh, I can't remember this one. Oh, we've lost everybody. Hey, thanks for sticking around, guys. I think I did originally say this would end at 8, so. So to me, what I'm missing is how to extract this information out of here. And I think this is another one of those where I get like a little tossed. Because I feel like this is going to be like const Pokemon set Pokemon. I mean, I don't like using that, but
You're creating a controlled form, yeah?
yeah.
I usually just call mine form data because it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Or just form works too. I mean,
yeah, to be honest, yeah, because it like set form, use state. Okay, so let's create an empty initial const initial values equal. ID of 1. Wow, I'm just gonna do our old Bulbasaur.
Is there a way to access the form? I haven't used semantic UI in a very long time, but I'm wondering if there's some kind of built-in functionality to the semantic UI elements where we can kind of maybe access that stuff without like doing it manually. I'm not sure if that's there or not though.
So I hear what I hear what you're saying is like instead of like building like this form out up here and then attaching that to like the I think it's gonna be like the value equals form dot, this would be form dot name. Instead, you're saying like, why don't you just grab like the identifiers? Like, is there like something built into this? I don't know for the life of me. I don't even know where I would start to look that up.
Just on the semantic UI docs, probably.
Okay, so semantic UI docs form reference. What? I don't want to buy your form. Oh, my bad. I was like, why do I have all these like agreements I have to go down? It's their form website. I gotcha. UI docs for forms. Okay, like we're referencing semantic UI forms and React.
Okay, I think I found some stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, is it something you can walk me through, or do you wanna?
It looks like it's still the way that they recommend is still to have a the state like you were doing originally. It looks like they
Okay.
don't have that built in. They do have like examples for like capturing values and clearing on submit on in the docs, but
Gotcha.
it's basically just doing what you had already started doing anyway. So it's not really built into the library.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like, I feel like some of these, like, I'm like, oh, this is so crazy that you have to build this out every time. Like, I always think that it should just be like more defaults, but I guess that's why we're starting from the bottom.
You could probably build your own like tiny library, Ben, if you can't find one. It wouldn't be too hard. You know, just like a function that you could
Oh,
dynamically generate a blank form.
I think I understand what you're saying, like, but like, I mean, what what would
It
be
would
the
take some extra
value?
work. Well, like, you know, if you said like, I don't know, you'd have to think about it a lot
Right.
to design it, but you know, maybe you could have a function that would say like, you know, generate form object, and you'd give it like a list of you know, it would give like a name and then like a type, and then that type would like automatically set the default input or something.
I gotcha.
Don't know,
Huh.
but yeah,
Now
I'm sure
you're
like
thinking
I'm
like a
sure there's
React.
something out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something out there already built, so
Right.
it's up to you if you want to mess around with it yourself.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm having a hard time grasping exactly like what you're trying to structure there. Like, it seems like it's almost
Just
like a
like
use effect for forms,
like building your like if you were to build like a file that just had a few functions
yeah.
where you could take a lot of the patterns that you use when making React and then turn them into functions so that just writing them out would be a lot quicker. So like you could write a function that, you know, you'd only give it the necessary arguments and it would generate you a default form object that you could pass into use state or something.
Right. So you're saying instead of having all this, like instead I would be like calling something called like build form here. And like
Yeah,
my
and you
first arguments would be like an array of X, Y, Z, like what do I want my form to monitor? And then like the second one would be like I don't even know.
or you can even you could write the function so it'd be like, you know, it would automatically structure things into an array, so you could just like list things out in a certain way. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like I like it.
another topic for another day.
Hey, you're taking one after the old book. I feel like where it just you can just go deeper and deeper and deeper, you know, and like I think that's what they're trying to encourage. So I don't think it's a wrong thing. I think that sometimes I just I get so like I already have so many things bouncing around that I feel like sometimes I'm just like, oh shoot, I'm not gonna get anything done.
Yeah, definitely you gotta focus on, you know, like I don't remember the exact phrase, but it was like, you know, first and foremost, make sure it works.
Yeah,
I think it was like in the algorithms course,
yeah,
talked about like first and foremost, make sure it works. Second, make sure it's clean and readable. And third, make sure it's like efficient and
right.
you know, efficient both in terms of time and space.
Right. And I think that's where I sometimes like I'll just jump into something and then be looking at it for like 2 or 3 hours. Those aliases in the bash RC file, like those are pointless, but like
Yeah.
really cool. I mean, like right now, like I built in, there's this that bandit game I was talking about. Like I can just do like my bandit SSHs by just typing in like bandit 4, and then it like logs me into this like cool little war game. And I mean, it's neat, but like, is it worth anything? No, but I had a lot of fun figuring it out. But I think it's all valuable, and I think that's like the attitude I've tried to take like for a lot of this stuff is like diving in deeper. Okay, so maybe I'm like a little behind like some of the other guys that are like going forward and just like skipping parts, but I feel like I had a
I
good
think
enough-
you're fine, Ben. I mean, you're building out a pretty strong knowledge base, and
yeah.
like those learning how to get really good in, Bash and
Mhm.
CLI, like that's going to be really helpful when you're developing full time, because
Right.
you're going to be spending a lot of time in there, and people who are skipping ahead and learning more content, like, oh, they'll figure their way eventually, but
Yeah.
like if they don't spend as much time on things like that or as much time on practicing, then it's harder to retain.
Yeah, and that's I don't know, like
Trade-offs.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I think
don't know, I don't know the right answer to it, like it's fun to like go ahead and like dig into something, but then like I sometimes feel like I'm not taking my course right, but whatever.
in my experience, that kind of exploratory mindset and digging into stuff, it compounds over time. So now if you dig into like the bash stuff, the bash aliases, and like doing fancy stuff with forms and that sort of thing, then in a few years, if you're working for a company, some of that like those deep dives can actually result in like some really nice like impact and added value if you discover something that could add some kind of value or optimization to whatever like product you're working on.
No, that's
So and that's really sought after too, actually. I think like just about every like job interview or like and company like during the hiring process kind of looks for people with that kind of mindset.
legit.
So
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, Mike, like what's your background?
I first got exposed to like coding and software stuff in general in high school. There was a Java class that I took, and that was just a very basic kind of thing in high school. And then I tried the college thing, but I ultimately decided college really wasn't for me. It didn't fit my goals, and it's expensive and stuff. So I ended up just teaching myself on the internet, like web development sort of things. And in the past like 5 years, I've just been working.
That's awesome. That's the dream. Like you're speaking to, well, I guess to Scott more. I finished college 12 years ago, I guess now, but Scott's a fresh out of high school.
Graduated in June.
Yeah.
When I graduated in June, and I was applying for a job. I took AP computer science in high school, which was Java as well.
Yeah. I think I took the same one.
Probably nice. I loved it so much, and I hadn't programmed before senior year, so I fell in love with it. Took I'm sure you've seen like the Harvard GD50. They get a little game development. Took that in my free time and got some more kind of personal experience under my belt. And I started looking at boot camps, and eventually settled on Flatiron. And so yeah, we just started on the 31st of October, and we'll graduate in February, assuming we pass first try on everything.
Right. Assuming we
But
pass.
yeah,
I think
hoping to just get into the work field without having to go to college, at least right away.
That'd be pretty killer. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's more common than you would think. Like the amount of people who don't don't have degrees or anything.
It's definitely becoming more and more common. I don't know. I've done some brief job looks on like, you know, whatever, like Glassdoor and things that show up, and I don't know, maybe my guess would be like half of them would give an opportunity for like some way of showing your credibility or experience beyond a college degree. It's like you could say, you know, give, I don't know what they'd be open to specifically, but maybe you could give like certification from a boot camp or something else, and others just you didn't have a degree requirement mentioned at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I had a pretty great job that I left, you know, like from the outside looking in, like that I was just like, I want to see what this thing's about. Like, and I think you guys are doing it right. Like, I don't know, like it just seems like there's so many interesting ways to solve problems out there. And I felt like I like these pieces were just like hidden, you know, like, and I was working in engineering. I was working with like in manufacturing, developing like logic to control machines. But like at the same time, I was just like, no, like all these pieces could be so much easier if we weren't having to like test this certain way. And like, if we didn't have like to repeat all these things for every project. But a lot of that is just like institutional too, you know, like it doesn't matter if the tools are available, like people aren't going to use them if like none of the senior management or product managers are willing to like bring those into things. And that's where I got fed up, was I was like, well, this, I want to do my own thing. And we had a really bad client with a utility. So, but now I'm going to make money this way. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop the recording. I think we got pretty far. I think I'm like on the right track here as far as doing these. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, it's because I didn't fill up the rest of my form. But like this form, whoa. Oh, it's because of the dang CSS stuff. That's so. Oh, interesting. You might be onto something, Mike. Just looking at like this components view. This looks like these are already like built into. Interesting.
Well, you can tell they're React components,
Right?
because
right.
they're capitalized in JSX.
Oh, that's neat. I don't know what to do with it, but like I feel like I don't need to do any of this on change handle input. It's like I should just be able to reference. Like if I came up here and I said 60, and I came down here and I saw my input there, placeholder HP. See, but it's not showing 60 anywhere. So I think you do still need to hook it up.
Yeah, I think that there are some other libraries and tools and stuff that have some more like baked in like logic and validation features, but for this one it kind of looks like you have to hook it up. I know I was spoiled by Angular.
Oh yeah,
because Angular has kind of a built-in form kind of I don't know,
nice.
not really a library, but form like features that has like a pretty robust API to kind of handle everything. But with React, I've noticed you kind of have to do a lot of stuff more manually.
Oh really? Is Angular newer than
Probably.
React? Yeah.
React is pretty freaking old.
Yeah.
No, Angular came out like a long time ago. I'm pretty sure Angular came out first, and then over the past, I know at least like 5 years ago, and maybe probably even a little bit more. Yeah, Angular used to be much more prevalent than React, but the history is pretty funny. So Angular version 1 was very popular, and then when version 2 came out, they made a ton of changes to the point where you couldn't just update to version 2. You had like all of the syntax for everything was changed and
Huh.
everything like that. So a lot of companies that were using Angular ended up picking up React after that because they didn't want to deal with all these big
Oh.
changes every version. And then that's kind of how React started picking up a lot of steam and everything.
That makes more sense.
And nowadays React is definitely more prevalent and kind of taking yeah, and even on the native side too, like with React Native also React Native I think is the number one like most used for hybrid mobile apps. And in the Angular ecosystem they don't have anything like official from Google from the Angular team, but there are other like third party sort of things to.
Yeah, this is where I was on this past weekend was State of JavaScript had a survey, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's just like so many freaking things out there. Like, and that what was it like? Oh, I think it was this page that like drove me crazy over like what is like popular and like the trajectories of like these different frameworks. And so you can kind of just like hover over it and see like, are people mostly positive? But there was one that I was looking at. It was the Microsoft framework. And I can't remember what it was called. It was like .NET.
Oh, yeah, .NET, C#, .NET, no, something like that.
.NET something else though. Like I know .NET
Core.
Standard. .NET Core, ASP.NET Core.
Okay.
Yeah. And
The
Blazor. Blazor.
Blazor. Oh, okay. Blazor.
Yeah.
Blazor is pretty cool.
So apparently that one's taken off, but like I feel like I've never heard of Microsoft being like too much at the forefront. Like though recently, like they seem to really be changing their attitude towards development and like being like on every development thing they can. But
yeah, I don't know, because I always thought Blazor was more like specifically designed for the C#.NET sort of stuff.
Okay.
So, but I think that's a great solution. Like if your backend is in .NET,
Ready.
yeah, doing stuff with Blazor there. And then the only difference between the .NET and .NET Core is the operating system that it can run on. So Core is all operating systems like Windows and Mac and everything, but just plain .NET is just Windows, and just plain .NET was the original one, and then Core came out after that.
Nice. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there, and did you code along, Mike, by the way, for this one? I
Yeah,
my girlfriend calling me for dinner. So. Yeah.
I did a little bit. I stopped kind of halfway through and just kind of followed you.
Nice.
But I started with you.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fun challenge. What do you think, Scott?
I had it done at like 7:30. But it was fun.
Yeah. I think if I wouldn't, well, the one person
it's tough to do it while talking. It's
Yeah.
tough to do it while talking.
Yeah. I think I could have done it a little faster. There was a couple pieces that I started going down that like I think one of you guys spotted, and I was like, oh shoot, yeah, like I don't think I would have actually finished out that thought that way, but it is what it is. Like, you know, like I'm trying to code more publicly, and so like that's what this means.
Hey, that's got to be excellent preparation if you're ever in any like coding interviews where they watch you.
Yeah.
Like that would be something hard to do off the cuff.
Yeah. No, I do feel a little bit disingenuous, like calling this like a meetup, and then I'm like, oh, actually, it's just like the Ben show. But
it's kind of tough to do a meetup though. Like,
yeah.
Especially like on Zoom. If we're in person,
yeah,
like, you know, obviously it can't be because people are coming from all around the country, but like that would be easier to do a meetup, I think, because everyone have their own devices and could all talk and work together, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I think that's the big headache is like, I mean, the first two of these literally like it was just me in the room. So then I got into the habit of just being like, okay, like I guess like I'll just chat until somebody else chats. But like this is really the first one that like there's been tons of people. And so like maybe I should stop doing the Zoom recordings and like just do I don't know, just like hang out for an hour and just like do the same thing, but without the recording. I don't know if that really stresses people out or not, but anyways, I just kind of blather on until I get through it. But hey, thank you guys for coming, and I look forward to next week.
Next week, Advent of Code, right? We're gonna do
Advent of Code. Yeah,
that'll be a good one for everyone to do together.
Yeah, I did 2021. I went through like day 4, I think, and then I was like, okay, like I get the rhythm of it, but yeah, I should be able to keep up. Mike, have you ever done Advent of Code?
No, I don't think I've heard of it before. I can guess what it is, like coding something every day till
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, look it up. It's really cool. Someone showed it to me last year. And it's like it's all, you know, data structures and algorithms, but it's pretty fun. They structure it in a way so you can use whatever language you want.
Yeah.
You just like copy and paste input.
Like literally the first one I did for 2021, and I can't remember how you get to the prior years, but
Calendar.
Oh, is it on calendar?
I think so.
No, that's
Oh wait, no, I'm wrong.
well, no, it looks like it's
Hit the year maybe.
like I can click this.
Oh,
year.
events. It's events. I'm pretty sure it's
Oh,
events.
I gotcha. Yes. Oh, I lied. Only did one. But I looked through a bunch of these and I was like, oh, okay. But this first one that I did in Excel. Like,
oh, cool.
Yeah. Because I was just like, oh, this is super easy. Like it's just looking for increases and decreases. And so I just did like I copied the entire data set into Excel, did like a Boolean check, like was it greater, was it less? And then I just had it like output a 1 or output a 0. I mean, it's the same way I would have done it in like programming, just without a program. Yeah. But anyways, all right, I'm stopping the
Nice.
recording. And